everybody. Welcome to the Backroom Show. I am Gary Williams.
And I'm Matt Ferranda.
That's right, Matt Ferranda, who was born in a crossfire hurricane. Fun fact.
I don't know what that means.
No, Trumpet Jack Flash. It's a Rolling Stones song.
Oh.
All right.
It's a guess.
There you go. Sure it is a guess, yeah. All right. We are, of course, the Backroom Show. Don't forget, by the way, to check out Day Drinking Saved My Life. Another great show also on the Backroom Network. All right, Matt, take it away.
So we're here today with a good friend of mine, actress Caitlin Nolan, all the way from Portland, Oregon.
And boy, are her arms tired. No?
No.
She's on the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Hey, Caitlin.
Hello. Hello, Gary. Hello, Matt.
Welcome to, say hello to all of our listener. There's no S on the end yet. We're working on it, though, but it's good to have you on.
Hello, listener, if you're out there.
I can really give you his name.
Right. Actually, if you want to go talk to him, I'll give you his phone number later.
Just say hi to Kevin. There you go, right?
Kevin, is his last name Williams? Is it like your dad?
Who's to say, Caitlin?
Hello, Mr. Williams.
I don't like Caitlin's smarty pants attitude already.
Well, we might have made a mistake.
We might have made a huge mistake. Well, everyone, that was Caitlin Nolan. Thanks for coming.
So anyway,
yes.
What we're going to be talking about today, this is something that's been on my mind a lot lately, especially since I moved back to Pennsylvania from Oregon, is depression. It's not like the most fun topic in the world, but, hey, we're funny guys and funny lady who deal with this on a regular basis and talk about like causes behind it and how it affects us in what we do.
Yeah, and anybody who's been following our show and the web pages and all and the Facebook and all that, yeah, we always say, the back room is like hanging out with your pals in the back room, drinking, laughing, having fun. But hey, sometimes you get a few too many, you start, getting a little serious. So today we're gonna get a little serious. That's okay. If it's too much for you, if it's triggering you, right. Please go listen to, I don't know.
Day Drinking Saved My Life.
There you go.
Which actually will probably make you far more depressed. I was going to say,
and then it'll come right back to us.
And be like, this is preferable.
So there you go. So today we're talking about depression. And no, we don't mean it's not depression.
Right. Which we could talk about, too.
We totally talk about.
We're buying on margin today.
I had a bowl of dirt for breakfast.
You had a bowl of dirt? Where did you get that dirt from? That was poison dirt.
I have a dirt guy.
So I think for me, one of the big things that really set this off for me was with the death of Anthony Bourdain. And I know other people have talked about this on their podcast, but I think part of the reason that hit me so hard was that, this is a guy who is at the top of his game. I don't have a whole lot of like I read his books. I'm a big fan of his.
Right. You didn't I grew up listening to him kind of a thing. You're right.
But man, this is a dude who was never shy about discussing his depression. This is a man who had a job that people would kill for, including Anthony Bourdain, apparently. But it hit me really hard that this was a person who was on top of his game and was very open about the depression that he had. And you realize that there's no situation so good that it can't be so bad. And that was really scary to me.
And you just made a T-shirt for us.
Oh, good.
There you go.
Welcome to the Backroom Network.
There you go.
But, you're never supposed to compare your life to anyone else. And it's so weird. Today, I randomly Googled a girl I graduated with because I didn't know what happened to her. Turns out that she has a doctorate and that she was a senior policy advisor to President Obama. And that was like, holy shit.
Barack Obama?
Yeah, the same. Jerry Obama.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. No, and it was like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And okay, but hold on. I have to cut in there because likewise, I don't have a college degree. And here my friend Matt, the Oxford graduate who majored in medieval music theory, is ragging on himself because he didn't work in the fucking White House. So
hold on.
Perspective.
Let's go to the scoreboard. That would be point Caitlin. There you go.
But even so, that's what I mean. Like, You can't help it. Like, you forget. You don't take time to appreciate those things. And man, does that eat your brain really quickly. That
shit'll change. And you have the kid now. And once he's older and things sort of congeal, for lack of a better fucking term, you're going to go, you're not going to care about that. Because I've learned, in time that there's people like, oh my God, they did this or they're doing that. And then I see them finally and they go, oh, well, you're 3 times divorced. You don't talk to your kid. And again, this is not everybody. I get that.
But I have to say, so in full disclosure, I am a suicidally depressed human being. Like, it just is. And that is a scary thing to say. Because the second you say those words, it changes your dynamic with every single person you're talking with. And it's not something that you readily admit to people. Certainly not in casual
there tends to be kind of a stigma attached to the admission that, like, I regularly think about ending my own life. You know?
Oh, so
like, you want to go see a movie? You bowling? What? You know?
So when can you start working at our daycare?
Right. I am also now in therapy. And this is one of the things I talked to my therapist about. And she says, well, why do you feel so upset telling people? Well, one, it's a big burden to put on another human being. Because what are they supposed to do with that information?
Huh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You gonna finish those French fries?
Yeah, right. I had an uncle who would go off and hit his kids. Is that the same thing? No,
Right.
no,
No.
It's not
No.
the same thing. But
The reason I wanted to talk about this, and first of all, Gary and I share a lot of things in common.
yeah,
when it comes to
popping Zoloft like Tic Tacs, baby. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. No, but you're right, Matt. This is something you and I, from the beginning, we said we wanted to talk about because my background is my mother had what they used to call a nervous breakdown. And of course, she had a doctor who wound up being arrested as being a Dr. Feelgood. He was just pouring pills down his patients' necks and things. And my dad had issues with depression. I always joke that what are you, Gary? I'm Czechoslovakian, Irish, and a quarter depressed on my father's side, kind of a thing, Because it's just, it's true. We have our family traits are like, big thighs, balding and crippling depression. So there you go.
And before anyone writes in, Kevin, understand, we're not blaming anyone for this.
Oh, hell no.
No, it's not that. Because you make your choices in life.
Yeah.
And, you get strong or you don't. You do what you do. And I have to be careful about what I say because all of these people are still alive. But no one would ever argue the fact that, I grew up with severe abuse in the house. My mother, who is got some pretty severe mental problems, was incredibly violent. And so I don't know. Like, I can almost hear people like, well, your mommy didn't love you, so now you can bitch and moan. It's not that. It has to do with the worth you put on yourself as a human being. And for me growing up, I tried to commit suicide for the first time when I was in 3rd grade. I don't know how old you are in 3rd grade.
9,
10.
10.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah.
My parents had gotten a new set of kitchen knives, and they had thrown out the old ones, which are super cheap. Like they were like from the 50s, I think. They had like the handles that looked like an antler or like wood or whatever it's supposed to be. Yeah. So I ran off into the woods, and it was right before school started, and I stabbed myself in the chest like 4 times, and the knife broke. And I was a kid. It wasn't like there was no way it was really going to be successful.
God, man, you can't do anything right.
Can't do anything right. And so the knife broke. I throw down a knife. I go home. My mom sees the shirt that she had just bought me for school. She beat the shit out of me because I fucked up the shirt. And I told her that I had fallen while I was running in the woods.
Right. And to be fair, though, the shirt was a target. It was a bullseye.
True.
And it was right over your heart.
Right.
So,
God damn it, Matthew!
I put it on there for a reason. Go for the bullseye. You son of a bitch. Oh, oops, that's me.
Yeah.
You son of me.
And she says, Mom, what does Mommy always say? Crossways for attention, long ways for results.
Wow.
Jesus.
And there's another hat. We are cracking out the hats and t-shirts today. Yeah.
Welcome to the Suicide Emporium.
Get out of my store. Yeah, and please make sure all credit cards are final.
Right. All sales are final.
Sales are final. That's it.
And the reason I bring this up, it's a matter of you're not alone in what you're doing. Like, I can't imagine there's any human being who gets the age of adulthood and has not at some point even briefly thought about ending their life. Like, it has to happen. Like, I don't know. Do you disagree? I don't know.
we've spent a good majority of our lives being funny, creative, outgoing people. And of course, I think there's a lot of truth to the, performer, please, someone like me, look at what I do. I mean, literally, why would you stand up in front of people? Other than, you want to share, I get that, but share why for a reason, whatever. But I think there's two sides of it. Like, the funny, creative thing comes with a price. And you can't turn off the what ifs and the creative and hey, wouldn't it be funny ifs? Because that gets a little dark sometimes. And it turns into, what might it be like if I wasn't around? What might it be like? Would people be better off? Now, to a level of stabbing myself in the chest with some shitty ass 50s fucking the beaver cleavers fucking knives? No.
Right, the actual beaver cleaver.
The actual, why the nets, right? You should have used the beaver cleaver. There you go.
Now in the Suicide Emporium, Gary's Beaver Cleaver.
Beaver cleaver. Which is also the name of a movie I was in, but we don't want to talk about that. It doesn't matter. That's a whole other show. It's another show. It's kind of maudlin, I guess. I don't know, but what are you going to do? Hey,
and what are you going to do?
It's the price you got to pay for the funny people. You know what I mean?
But why do you think that is? Why do you think funny people tend to be? Caitlin, what do you think? Why do you think funny people tend to be really dark and sad people?
I think, actually, this is something I think about a lot. I really think on its most fundamental level, it is a survival mechanism that when you're that young and you have no power or very limited power to affect your own situation, like if you grew up in a really turbulent, really abusive family of origin like you did, Matt, you can't just pick up and leave and escape from that. So the alternative is to adapt. And I think coming up with a gallows sense of humor like that is one of those adaptations. Some people adapt by, internalizing the idea that they deserve the abuse, that they're bad, they did something to bring it on. Some people adapt by becoming exactly like their abusers. Like if you have, a family with multiple siblings, sometimes one of the kids in that family will turn into a little tyrant like they see their parents doing, and they kind of establish a pecking order like that ensures that they come out on top, that they're getting the least of the hurt. And then
or the opposite, they get super protective too.
Yeah, or that, for sure. And then I think the sense of humor is just another one of those coping mechanisms. It's a way to please people, to make them like you, to immunize yourself against maybe people wanting to hurt you, and to sort of infuse a sense of hope into what you're experiencing, in a sense that you can take some power back. Because if you can take the raw material of this really horrible, brutal situation and transform it into something that's funny, that uplifts other people, it's like a kind of emotional alchemy. Mm-hmm. My observations too, that pretty much to a person, the funniest people I know and the wittiest and the most consistently on people like that have had the most fucked up backgrounds. And I think it kind of it's a survival mechanism that outlived its usefulness in some ways, that these people are still perpetually in that please like me, please like me, please like me kind of mindset.
Do you think then there were funny cavemen? Do you think this is an instinctual thing, thag, I heard funny thing on hunt today, and they're like, what's funny? What does funny mean?
Because I know for me, I found my escape in books, and I read all the time, and I still do. And that's that. I got poked in the eye a lot, but it's true. I spent most of my time reading because that was a way to not deal with the reality that was around me. And I could somehow tell myself too that I am somehow bettering myself by doing this at the same time. I can tell you as I got older, because especially by the time I was 16 or thereabouts, there was never a moment I wasn't thinking about suicide. And it's something that dogs me to this day. I constantly think about it.
Wow.
It's all the time. It is all the time.
Note to self, do not get a ride with Matt.
But the first.
Hey, we have to go. I'll drive. No. I'll drive, Matt. I'm good. I'll drive.
That's all right. I got all the Xanax and beer. We're good to go.
I feel like we should make a complete list of things to not ask Matt to do. Like,
Hey, Matt, can you give me that knife over there?
Right. Matt, would you mind doing this barbecuing over here real quick? Matt, could you take out all this gasoline and matches for
There
me,
you go.
please?
Hey, listen, Matt, I need to go to my gasoline and old oily rag shed with this, please.
There's also a whole bunch of Zyklon B in there if you don't mind taking care of that.
Just grab that for me. It'd be great. Thanks, Matt. You're a good guy.
Yeah. Pause for edit. No, but the thing that really gave me the first sort of glimpse of hope because man, I would go to such dark places in my brain, and I would create these sort of fantasies of Rube Goldberg machines to like essentially commit suicide with, and they were the only things that gave me like any kind of relief was these ideas, but that comes at a cost because you think I'm a freak. I don't like no one else thinks this way, and someone handed me a copy of Franz Kafka's Diaries because I had read The Metamorphosis. I really liked it, and in that book he has the same sort of really crazy suicide fantasies. And it was the first time I ever saw another human being who had those ideas and expressed them. And it made me feel a lot better because I wasn't alone. And now, because I have a tiny human I have to keep alive, like, suicide's simply not an option.
Because if his parents find him, well, you are in so much trouble.
He isn't. Yeah, him.
You are going to be.
His eyes didn't stay blue, so I can't get quite as much money for him. So, you know.
Yeah, I think too. First of all, and again, I know I can't help it, but did you say a Rube Goldberg type thing?
Yeah.
Like all I pictured. Remember the teacher had the little duck with the top hat on
right.
that with the
The
self-perpetuum.
water.
Yeah. I picture that hitting a button which releases a whole there's a
there's a
bowling
whole
ball
thing,
running down the
right.
thing, and all these mechanical things happen, ending in something like
Right.
chopping off your head.
Exactly.
or-
Like so about halfway through, you're just bored.
Bored.
Like, come on.
Or the one domino didn't fall, so you have to set it all back up again.
God damn it.
Oh, this makes me want to kill. Oh, okay. All right.
Jesus Christ.
God, I can't do anything right. I should just stab myself in the chest again.
There you go. No, so if you really want to know, so the idea I had was to.
By the way, of course I want to know.
All right, okay.
Are you kidding me?
So, and this was for years. I had this fantasy that I would somehow design this room that I would make it look like the door was locked from the outside. I would be strapped to a chair that had some sort of hidden button on it, and that all of these guns, lots of them, like as many as I could fit, that would fit around my head,
right.
would be on like conduit, okay?
Okay.
And so I would press this button, all the guns would fire at once.
Right.
And then in the sconces of this room, there would be like essentially like flaps. And so all these guns would pull back underneath, the sconces would come down.
Right.
And so whoever found this room would have no idea what had happened.
Oh, the old hidden shore.
Yeah. And that was kind of my idea, that I would love to have created this thing, like spent all this money, be like, just to do that.
Right. Isn't that a little
That's
bit
very
of
Baroque.
yeah.
Isn't it?
It's kind of Ferris Bueller
It's totally
meets Warner Brothers.
right.
Wow. And actually, it's a little Roger Rabbit too. A
little bit.
like all like 4 guns per square foot, all pointing at your head.
Yeah.
Wow. Just paint.
I think it's all a question of what kind of soundtrack you put to it. So it could either be really sort of somber, atonal chamber music, or
Yes,
you could
we
go
have
with
no
like
bananas.
the Benny Hill
Yeah.
theme.
You're different, buddy.
Yeah.
You're a different breed of cat.
Aww.
Yeah.
But it's true. And so I don't know. Like for people looking in, I guess it is a scary thing when you know someone's terribly depressed. I've always called myself the least cynical suicidal person, because I do believe in that. I think the world. I honestly think the world's a great place. I think we are living in the single most stable period in human history,
and worth fighting for.
And worth fighting for. Damn it,
Hemingway.
Yeah, he didn't end so well. Did
Oh,
he?
exactly. Yeah.
Pulled the trigger with his toes.
How you gonna kill yourself? The Hemingway.
Oh no!
Oh yes.
You gotta write that down.
Write that down. Write that down.
But my thing is, like, because of my upbringing and who I am, like, I just don't understand how to feel comfortable in your own skin. Like, I don't understand how you be happy.
If I may, Matt, make an observation, and I've known you for a bunch of years now, is that, and this is going to sound like you might think it's critical, but it's not. You're a hyper intelligent guy, which I think. Well, relax. I didn't say you were smart. All right. Because you're also a fucking moron.
Yeah,
but
no, I'll totally agree with that.
yes, yeah, you are dope. But you're, and I've known a lot of people like you. It's you sometimes hang your hat too much on your intelligence, meaning it's the print is too big on your business card of life. Hey, I'm a smart guy. Let's be clear. We should call this the We're Idiots show. We are not fucking, whatever, elitists or think we're better than anybody. I'm wearing shorts with a hole in the crotch right now, I think. So sometimes intellectualism can
no, and there's no question.
Yeah.
And so this is one of my big and it's so weird. My self-confidence both grew in certain areas and completely eroded in others. And I think it's kind of interesting because, I call myself an idiot all the fucking time. I don't believe myself to be an intelligent person anymore. I don't.
You know a lot of stuff.
I do know, and that's it. And that's where that's the thing. Because I have come to the conclusion I have a prodigious skill in memorization, but synthesis means nothing. I can't do anything. I'm a fucking retard when it comes to anything else, but I sure can memorize a whole bunch of dates and facts. It's not helpful,
Unless you're on a game show.
Unless you're on a game show.
Yes.
Who is Ken Jennings?
There you go.
Yeah.
Our category, dates and times.
But to your point, though, where that has really fucked me up, and Caitlin and I had this discussion once, and this will sound so fucking pretentious, because it is. I used to read Plato a lot, and he talks about how
I played with Plato, so
there you go. So we're around the same age.
Same thing.
He talks about how someone asks him, "How do you become a good man?" He says, "You can't. You can't become a good man. Either you are or you aren't. That's it." And that shit fucked me up so bad because I didn't realize, even people who you think are the best people, who instantaneously make snap judgments and do the right thing, they still have to make that fucking choice to do the right thing. And regardless of how long it takes you to get there, you fucking make that choice. And my life recently has been more about make the choice. Because ultimately, whether you had to agonize over it, if you did the right thing in the end, that's what makes you a good person.
It's not always about choosing the thing that's most rewarding in a instantaneous, pleasurable way, let's say. That's okay.
Like getting a pair of underpants that don't have a hole in them, Gary.
Shorts, by the way. Shorts, not underpants. So, yeah, there you go. Caitlin, your thoughts?
Caitlin.
Well, I don't want to miss out on the part where we're ragging on Matt, so I'm going to jump in on that.
Please. By the way, Gary has a fucking PhD in it. So.
That is true. It's my specialty.
Gary, what you brought up about Matt being hyper intelligent, I think that's kind of, I'm going to go ahead and psychoanalyze him here. I think that's kind of at the root of a lot of his self-loathing, because I think when somebody is as smart as he is, it's really easy to get stuck in the cycle of feeling like you have this limitless potential that you are never living up to.
Bingo.
Right?
It's good.
And if you grew up in the generation I did, and I don't know, maybe you guys came a little bit before this, but I grew up hearing, you can be anything you want to be, you can do anything you want to do, which in some ways was great and empowering, and in other ways also made me internalize the idea, and therefore you should, you must. And if you don't, then you're just de facto a big failure. Along with the intelligence thing, I think if you grow up in an environment or in a family of origin, you were talking about, mommy and daddy issues earlier. I think that's something that gets kind of tossed around in a derisive way, but that is actually a lot more foundational to a lot of mental health issues than is commonly realized, in that, if you, from the time your little jello mold brain hasn't even fully set up yet, if you're conditioned to understand that your sense of worth, your value as a person, and how lovable you are is directly correlated to how much you can achieve. Like if love is an achievement-based thing, if that's built into your little neural network from the time you have, like, you first develop any sense of self-awareness, that's gonna fucking haunt you for the rest of your life, because you're forever gonna be trying to reenact like getting mommy and daddy's love through being the best and the brightest and the smartest and, you know, the best little soccer player on the team or whatever the hell it happens to be.
I was.
He wasn't.
No, absolutely. 100%.
Those things tend to go extra hand in hand for if you're in some way exceptional, if you're of above average intelligence, or, you know, you have some special talent or ability or something. Those can be wonderful things, but I think they can also really set you up for a lot of heartbreak later in life if you feel like you're always kind of falling short of those goalposts. If you learn that those are the things that make you valuable and make you worthwhile, and then you can't, like, reliably reproduce that success for whatever reason, if you learn that your abilities, the things that make you stand out, are what make you lovable, but, like, you can't reliably reproduce your success throughout life, you are going to never feel lovable. You're going to never feel worthy or like you're enough. And to bring that back to Matt, I think that's kind of the predicament you're in a lot, is that you do have a lot of exceptional abilities, but I think because you're continually falling short of your own standards of excellence, it leaves you feeling like you're just not enough.
No, look, it's true. You know, it's hard to say. I can't possibly be objective about this sort of thing. And I think you're right, though. There is a great book called The Drama of the Gifted Child, where you are set up in some ways for failure.
But I think, too, that, you know, we're talking about a specific type of intelligence. I think everybody's got that thing. So I think it's not so much even just being intelligent. It's like fitting in, finding your thing. And it could be anything. Some people, like, something that maybe a lot of people go, oh, that's a pretty humble job. People are like, no, this is my jam, yo. This is my thing. So I think that's what it is. It's kind of finding that.
Right, and we've talked about that on the back room before. And you know what? You might not make money off it. You know, my hobby of masturbating doesn't really make me a whole lot of money.
Well, except for the nickels I throw at you.
Yeah, no, he does. And he whips them at me.
Oh, so hard.
It's really like, ow, that was stuck.
Matthew?
Yes?
I've said this before. I'll reiterate. You need to put it behind a paywall.
You're right. I mean, you're totally right. What? I mean, I go down to the park. This homeless guy whips nickels at me.
Sir, how many times we had to throw you out of this mall?
Yeah. Come on. Come on. Yeah.
So anything coming up that you want to, again, this will be out within 3 weeks or
Yeah.
so, probably. So anything coming up for you, Caitlin?
Not really. I'm in the process of collaborating on an original script with a friend of mine from the Portland-based theater company, The Reformers, but that's going to be a bit down the pike yet. That show will open in spring of 2018, and I can't say much about it at the moment because it's very secretive.
Wait. So you're going back in time to open that show?
Oh, see.
Exactly.
Oh, she said,
2020. Wait, what year are we in?
You said the spring of 2018.
Ever since the spring of 2018. Yeah, you know, we might be, because ever since Trump's election, my sense of reality has become
the calendar turned back to 1956.
and again, she's on the West Coast, so it hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't happened yet. What are you? You're like, what, 6, 7, 8 months behind, I think? Yeah. So thank you for coming on. We definitely want to have you back.
Yeah. All right. So everybody, before we leave, just real quick, I want to say, you matter. Yeah. If you're listening to this right now, if you are in a position where you need help, go. Mm-hmm. You need to call a number. You need to talk to someone. Do it.
Start with a loved one, too.
You know,
just someone to listen to you.
The simple thing I can tell you is you matter. Reach out, because there are people that will take care of you.
There you go. All right, buddy. Remember, we love you, and we'll see you next time in the back room.